Hey, what's up guys, I'm Praetorian, welcome back to Crusader Kings III Tours and Tournaments. So if you haven't already seen it, we did start a new series with the Victoria 3 Voice of the People DLC. So check that out if it's something you'd be interested in. And I did forget to mention this in Sunday's episode, that this series, because we've got that Victoria 3 one going, this one is going to be moving to an every other day format. And of course that doesn't count Monday, as we usually don't put out videos on Monday. So essentially the videos will be coming out on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. So only 3 videos a week rather than the normal 5 or 6 that I typically do. So episode 13 will be coming out on Friday. So if you guys recall last episode, we left off going to this hunt here. We also got a new innovation done, and I didn't look at that. That was the chronicle writing. So we got this one knocked out last episode. Now we're heading off over to this hunt. And I do expect, it's funny that we got an event here about life or death. I do expect this is going to be our last episode playing as Guilhem. He's 64 years old, and there's nothing really prolonging his life by much. So yeah, I expect we'll probably get to the end here, but maybe not. Maybe this guy lives to 75 years old. Who knows? Traversing the plains on the outskirts of Hyatt, we are suddenly attacked by a swarm of bandit riders out for blood. We are so close to the holding, surely Count Guilhem will soon help. As time drags on, we are chased by the scoundrels for the longest avoiding battle. It becomes painfully clear that no help is coming. How could a ruler let malicious riders like these inhabit his borders? My knight Vincent, I'm not sure how that last letter's pronounced, rides up next to me, a solemn look in his eyes. We both know the tactic that we have practiced in the past. So we say we stand as one. We'll lose stress because we're brave, grow closer to forming a rivalry with the Count here. That might happen no matter what. Yeah, simply because this is his holding here. And this is going to be a prowess challenge. 16% chance we survive the battle unscathed, get the unyielding defender trait, which would, of course be nice to have. 22% chance that we'll get that trait but we'll get wounded. 22% chance we're going to get severely wounded, so we'll be one-eyed. We'll lose our eye, still get the unyielding defender, or a 38% chance that we just die. Okay, so yeah, maybe this will be the event that kills us. Of course, there's another option here, but we're not going to go with that as a brave character, so let's go with this one and see what happens. We died. Of course we died. So I was just saying that I didn't think we'd live very long in this episode, but I didn't expect to die here in the first few minutes. But the first travel event, wow. Alright, so we're going to be taking over his new character who's in prison. And I did check to see if I could ransom him before we started, and his holder, jailer, would not release him. But yeah, I was going to open him up with just going ahead and ransom him since we had some money. Not this much money. A lot of this is our son's money. But yeah, we had some money, so I was going to ransom him off, but they wouldn't accept it, unfortunately. So we start out in prison. So Duke Guilhem V of Toulouse has found peace in Christ's embrace at 64 years of age. He was slain in battle. A zealous man, he fought for the glory of God against the heathens in one of the greatest holy wars of recent history. Duke Raymond ascends to the throne. Having mastered many skills, he is sure to be admired by his subjects. Really, many skills, huh? Because I could have swore he was just good at diplomacy. I mean, I guess he's got the good prowess. That's interesting. I didn't know the Lucky Rabbit's Paw could be used twice. I'm not sure why I thought each item could only be used once. But yeah, we got 2 of the Lucky Rabbit's Paw. We gave the second one we had to our son, and that's now our new character has it. So yeah, the other things to look at here, we know all the titles have gone to us. And, we've only played as one other character here. But yeah, he was slain in battle, was dreaded. He got to illustrious fame, devoted servant. He was doing the learning. We fought in 8 wars, including 1 Great Holy War, 3 offensive wars, and 4 defensive. So not really that many wars in our life. That's for how long we ruled. That's not very many. 45 years there. We hosted 3 activities, 2 hunts and a pilgrimage, and then we attended 10 activities, 7 hunts, 2 feasts, and 1 grand tournament, which of course we won. So we're going to be taking over as Duke Raymond, which I guess he's Duke Raymond the First here. We got an event here from our mother. I'm sorry to write with such grave news, but we just received word that your father, Duke Guilhem, was slain in battle. He was in Hyatt on the road towards Loches. When he perished, my sincere condolences, my lord. So I always feel like we might want to get revenge on the Count here. This Count here, because yeah, he was the one who didn't come and assist us and allowed his lands to get so out of control. Or didn't come assist our father, I suppose. Alright, so we're starting out in a weird predicament here. Let's first take a look at our situation. So we need to select a lifestyle. We're going to be doing it in the diplomacy. And we actually have a perk that he has not applied just yet. And he's already gone down almost the entire way down the August branch. So this gives us the 30% sway scheme power, a monthly prestige per powerful vassal on the council, plus 5%. So another reason to put powerful vassals on the council. You get more prestige from it. Firm hand, monthly prestige per dread, monthly prestige per knight. Just basically a lot of prestige from this one. That's kind of the focus of it. Offer vassalization acceptance plus 20. And this allows us to do the commission epic decision. This here is diplomacy per level of fame. Okay, so we should get, as we play this character more, we should get our diplomacy up even higher than it already is. And then the next one would be level of fame impact plus 100%. And we can't do that yet until we select something here. So our choices are foreign affairs, majesty, or family. We're fickle, so that means we change our mind quite often. We're gregarious, so we love hanging out with people. We're a people person. And we're also arrogant. So I feel like it'd probably be the majesty focus is the one that makes the most sense, given that we're arrogant. That's what I'm thinking. Remember, this does not affect the amount of experience you get over here, just the bonuses you get, and most importantly, all the different events that you'll get from your lifestyle. Yeah, I don't think family focus is fitting. Foreign affairs would work too, and then you get the extra diplomacy, but I think majesty is the route to go here. So we're just going to go and finish up this perk tree here since we're almost done. We only got 2 left, and the August trait is pretty good, increasing diplomacy, martial, and the monthly prestige. So yeah, let's go and get this one. And we'll be able to get that last one soon. And so this character will earn a lot more prestige than his father did. You see, he's already illustrious, which is what his father was. And we are only, like 30-something, 35 years old. And so there's no reason why this character here can't get all the way to a living legend. But we need to go into our inventory next. And we still don't have any armor here. And he already inherited and put on all the stuff that his father had. But we have these trinkets. So it looks like he didn't get any items on his own. He had these 2 here, but both of these were gifts from our father. And then the rest of these he inherited from his father. So nothing new here. And I think we're going to keep the Lucky Rabbit's Paws, both of them, because I really like getting the double shot of prowess here for 4+ prowess. And as far as prestige goes, there's nothing better than Lucky Rabbit's Paw. I'm not entirely sure why that grants so much prestige. People really respect Rabbit's Paws, apparently. So we're going to keep those 2 in there. We're also going to keep the Roe Antler, because that gives the Glory Hound vassal tax contribution plus 2%. That's not a lot of money, but whatever. It's better than anything else we have here. Of course, this here we gave to our son for a reason, because it's not that good. So let's go ahead and replace it with the crime and punishment. Now, I know that we're not doing the intrigue lifestyle, so that's not going to help with that. But it does give us the +3 dread. You still get the stress gain, which this already grants, and you get more prestige. So I think that's more useful. So I think we're pretty good here. We also already have an antiquarian hired as well. Might want to take a look and see who he's got working for him. So his seneschal is his mother. I should say our seneschal. And so we're paying her a handsome amount of money for control growth. I really don't think that's worth it. She's been doing it for 15 years. I mean, do we have control problems? I mean, even if we did, it's still not worth the amount of money you're paying. So we're going to go ahead and fire her. I don't really like the seneschal position unless you just have a ton of extra money. So let's go to revoke that. We don't have a court position though, so that's a problem. We got this Adam character who's the antiquarian, and he would be okay at it, but I almost think we should hire somebody new. We'll keep him in this position though. Also, the caravan master seems solid as well. He's got the good aptitude, so probably not going to be changing him out at all. And just look. But yeah, nobody's going to do better than that. Same thing here. I highly doubt anybody's better than Adam here. So yeah, we need to hire ourselves a court physician. So let's go and send that off. Well, we'll do it as soon as we're able to. We do have the option to escape from prison. I don't know if we'll be able to be successful in this. And one issue, so chance depends on prowess and trades. But one issue is that we're currently on house arrest. That means that it's going to be easier for us to escape. But if we don't succeed, there's a good chance he's going to put us in the dungeon, which obviously wouldn't be good. Let's get our situation secured first before we go and do that. Just in case, 'cause you never know what might end up happening here. Alright, so we do have buildings that are currently disabled because we are over our domain holding limit. So we need to take a look at all of our counties, see which ones we want to get rid of. We do have criminals that can be pardoned, criminals that can be imprisoned. So obviously the choice there, we either want to pardon them or imprison them. The knight situation should get fixed here in a minute, as soon as we let it play. Our men-at-arms have to be stationed, and we need to set up our council as well. So as of right now, this is who we've got, and there's only one powerful vassal currently in place. For some reason, we have this countess in charge here. I don't know why. Maybe she used a hook to force herself into this position. Because, yeah, she sucks. So I'm not entirely sure why he put her on the council. So we will be replacing her. We got 3 powerful vassals here that would like a position, and one of them would be a fantastic marshal, even better than this count over here. So probably put him in the marshal position. He would also be a good steward. The countess here, remember, she's our friend. That was an event that we saw as our previous character, where they got the friendship together, and we kind of, helped inspire that. Because it'd be good to have our new ruler friends with this powerful countess. However, she doesn't really have any good stats. You could just make use of the fact that she likes us, to not put her on the council, I suppose, if you want to have some better stats over here. Because the other character here, the spy master, she should surely stay at this position. First of all, she's gonna be terrified of us because she's craven. She's also trusting, probably not the best spy master, but the intrigue is pretty good. So we're going to leave her in place. She really likes us too. So we're going to leave her as a spy master. This character here will be getting replaced. So let's go ahead and do that now, since we already know who's going to replace this marshal here, because he's got such a fantastic martial skill. So we're getting him replaced. He's a smaller guy, apparently. I noticed that change in size there. This is a really good steward here. The other powerful vassal is also quite cruddy. And so I could see leaving this character out of it too. This character is actually pretty old. And so they'll likely die soon. And then this daughter would take over. She's also pretty crappy. So we might just leave these two in their current positions. But yeah, I would like to replace the countess here. We could surely get a better chancellor. We got our acclaimed knight here. I mean, we got some decent choices here. This countess is pretty good. Let's go put her in charge. It's not as important of a position, so you could have her be in this position. You know, she's our friend. It would make sense that we'd probably put her in position, even if she kind of sucks. So this is the one where she can do the least damage with her low skills. So we'll put her in there, and that means we are solid here. I might just want to take a look at what jobs they're doing. So we now have a new capital. I believe so. Oh no, it moved. Okay, so our capital is not over here anymore. It's back in Toulouse, which is probably the best place because we've been working on the development here, and it's up to 17 now. So it's clearly better than any other location that we currently have. Here's Lucia, which of course is that dynasty we played as in CK2, and a dynasty that we are related to. So we've got that county. It's got the 10 developments. Looks like not much built here. So it'd probably make sense to give that out. In fact, I'd love to give it out to the Lucia family. Though, I'm not entirely sure if there's going to be anybody available there. Because I don't want to give him another county. I mean, I guess we could give him a county over here. But does he have any he actually does have a cousin here of the dynasty that we could grant it to. So yeah, we could give it to this baby, and then obviously I'm not going to manage it very well as a baby, but you know, he won't be a problem for any time soon. We could also just take a look at all the members of his dynasty and see if there's anybody else that might be available here. So here's a Hugh de Louisiane, which is a popular name in their dynasty. Cousin of ours. He does have claims to this territory, and he's pretty solid as a character. Yeah, I could see giving it to him. We'd have to invite him to court, though, which he's not willing to come. So that's a shame, because, yeah, I'd like to give him territory. Could arrange a marriage. So, yeah, I don't see anybody here that we could marry him off to. You know, we got our daughters, of course, but, yeah, he's too old for that, and, frankly, yeah, we don't want to mix the bloodlines that much. I mean, he's a cousin, so I mean, it'd probably be fine, but yeah, I feel like he's way too old for our daughters. So that's not really an option if he's not willing to come to the court. What about this character here? I mean, he's not as good stat-wise, but if he's willing to come, he is not. Okay, so I mean, if they just don't want to come to our court, then there's nothing we can do there, and thus we'll have to grant it to the baby if we want to keep it in this dynasty, which I just think it makes sense to grant that up. So that's probably what we'll do there with that title, and that'll be one of them. We still have a lot more we'll have to grant out, because we cannot hold much. I feel like we can hold more. What else is in here then? Okay, that's all the stuff that we can't put anywhere because we don't have a court. So let me just take a look. Who's our... Oh yes, Elizabeth is our wife here. Okay. So since she's a ruler, we can't put her in place in our council, which is a shame, because I was trying to find a way how we could get some higher stewardship in order to hold one more title, because I don't really want to have to grant all of these out. We could just keep one and take the penalty with the goal of eventually getting the stewardship up some and getting our holding limit up some. Because yeah, I feel like we need to hold on to this one. This is our son's former capital. He's constructed buildings there. It's a 12 development, so it makes sense to keep that one. We also have Angoulême. This one has a few things constructed. In fact, it's got the garden and vegetable plantations. So that one's really nice for the income there. So we're getting good money from that one. So yeah, we already know we want to grant that one out. Maybe get rid of one of these two here. We built the stables here, so I feel like you got to keep that one. And we've been invested in this one, so yeah, it makes sense to keep that. We could go ahead and get rid of this one, but this one's a duchy title. I just want to keep them all, man. We need a character with better stewardship. That's the problem here. Because yeah, this is also a duchy title. Yeah, this is the duchy title for the Duchy of Aquitaine. And then the same thing with this one here. These are all duchy locations. So yeah, it makes sense to get rid of this one then and just build the stable somewhere else. What's a bummer though is you can't really tell how much money they're granting you because you're not getting the bonuses there. Alright, well we know we want to get rid of this one. So let's go ahead and do that. And again, we're going to grant it to this baby here, because I'm sure he'll do a great job at managing this territory. So let's go and grant that to him. All right, excellent. So that's one province. I want to get rid of one more. Yeah, I really feel like it should be this one. This one does have the lower fort level of all of them as well. And yeah, we'll just have to build the stable somewhere else. So let's go ahead and grant this to somebody. As far as who, we'll just see who all we've got here. So this is a new position here for the acclaimed knights. So what happened to our acclaimed knight? Did he just disappear? Or is he... There's the Knight of St. Lazarus. So we can appoint him, but we can only have the one. So basically you have to pick one or the other. I see. Okay, so with this character here, he already has some glory, but here's his actual traits for this particular knighthood, which is called the most faithful of the band. We can leave it that, or we can change it based on the names here. Again, this is an idealist, which grants on each level here courtly, vassal, and minority, well, just basically vassal opinion for 3 different types. And at the end, you get negotiating a white peace provides prestige. Okay. And then the stalwart, which grants travel safety. You do get army toughness once you get to level 4, so that's helpful, but yeah, not really all that impressive right now. I know he's granting us more bonuses, but I mean, it's just vassal opinion. So I kind of think we should appoint somebody else, do the other position. That's what I'm thinking, guys. Well, we got glory for this one as well. In fact, he's moving on to level 3. So I mean, you're getting the vassal opinion. Well, that's it with this one so far. Well, the level 3 will grant us the completing a grand tournament grants 50 development growth in your least developed county. And most importantly, we're going to get stewardship, which is something we're trying to get here. So I really feel like he would be the better knight right now. So I think that's what we're going to do. Let's invite that knight instead. He's closer to level 3. And then again, you're just getting the travel safety here. I think what we have to do here is we have to retire this one first in order to open up the slot. So yeah, that's not an option right now due to lack of prestige, because our character has 6 prestige. I don't know how that happened. How do you start with no prestige? You should have been building it up right now. Maybe he spent it on something. Not entirely sure, but yeah, it's going to take us some time to get that prestige built up. He does produce a lot though, 8.15 per month right now, so he'll get there eventually. But this is our current knights. We have a pretty good group of knights at the moment. Yeah, we're looking to grant this title right here out to somebody. Could grant it out to this countess here. And then we could have put her in charge there. I mean, it would make sense to give her that. Could grant it out to somebody else around here, or our cousin here. The Toulouse dynasties are really strengthening them up. Our family hasn't really favored them much here in this county, so I don't know if we'll grant that. Yeah, it might make sense to give it to... We don't want to give it to our friend. She already holds 3 counties, so she's pretty powerful as it is. So yeah, either a knight or giving it to this countess here would make sense. But, you know, she's in our dynasty, but the title's not going to stay in our dynasty here, guys. It's going to fall out. Simply because, you know, she married another dynasty here, and that's where the children are in. So, maybe not grant it out to her. I was thinking because she was in our dynasty, it'd be good. But let's just do a knight then in that case. So somebody who doesn't have a title. Of course, remember, if we grant it out to this guy, then he'll no longer be our claimed knight. So we won't do that. Not just yet. This guy's already a count. So here's a decent knight. I don't know who he is. Let's just take a look at him. He's arrogant as well. He's chaste and cynical. He's a dull man, but a holy warrior and a blade master. So he seems like a pretty solid knight. And he's probably one of the only choices here. So that's who we're going to grant it to. I assume he's been a good knight. So let's go and grant him a title right here. And he'll be a glory hound. Alright, excellent. So we're going to keep that extra title, guys. I know that's going to result in an opinion penalty, and you also don't get... Well, for now, we won't get any of the money from it, which I think it's this one here. So we won't get any of the benefits. And then once the year expires, and instead you get a penalty onto all the ones that you have. I want to say the first one is... I think it's 20%. So 20% penalty to everything. So obviously it's significant. It's definitely noticeable. But we'll just keep it as is, guys. I think it's okay. So now we control all this region here. Our character is incredibly powerful. We have almost 4,000 men here. And then we're working on this siege here. Let's take a look at our men-at-arms situation now. because this might have changed. Looks like we're around the same here. Yeah, everything seems to be the same as it was. So we just need to raise them up. But before we do that, let's get them stationed in locations. So we're gonna build the stables here. So that's where our cab is gonna be. So let's go ahead and appoint them there now. And then we want to keep the armored footmen in Toulouse, I think. Let me just take a look at our other locations and see what bonuses they grant. So this is for skirmishers and archers. So we could put our archer up there. Yeah, that makes the most sense. And of course we have this position here, which was also archer damage, but not as much. Because this one's been, well, it's got the hide tents. So that's what it is. A 20% bonus there. Well, I think here we have like a 5% bonus. Yeah, 5% bonus to damage. While this grants the 20% bonus to damage. So clearly the better location for the archers. So that's where we'll put them. And then we're going to put these guys over here. They're already stationed there? Oh, they're already stationed there. All right, excellent. And I don't really know that it's worth stationing them anywhere. Because, I mean, they don't really do anything combat-wise. I mean, I guess you could put them over here, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. All right, so now what we want to do, where is their rally points? Let's move the rally points over to here, and then we're only going to want to raise the men-at-arms now. So we get those to help out with this siege here, since we're currently in this war. So we'll get those guys raised up and then go over there, and then we just make sure there's nothing else we need to be aware of. Obviously, we know we have the too many counties, and we're above the domain holding limit. And we do have the decision available to escape from prison, which we are well aware of. We could imprison these four, as we've seen before. I don't know that we'll want to do that. These are all known criminals. So this is from our father. He revealed all their secrets. And so now we have that opportunity. And I don't know if it was all these characters, but I wouldn't be surprised if 2 or 3 of them are from our father revealing all those secrets. So already we can see how that has helped us by doing that. And of course we have the disabled buildings in that one location. Okay, so yeah, I don't think there's anything else we need to be aware of. I think we're good to go now. So we'll get these guys raised up, bring them over here to get the siege done a little bit quicker. And so yeah, I'm not entirely sure what happened there. Alright, so just put these guys all together, get the siege done, finish up the war, and then we'll look at our prison, our dungeon, and see what all we need to do there. So my Marshal, Count Ricard, has been showing off a promising new recruit. So we've seen this event before. We can recruit him, this Robert character. He would be a good knight. So even if you don't use him as commander, which he'd be a very good commander. I mean, his marshal's not extraordinarily high, but yeah, I mean, he would be a good commander. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that, because he'd be a good knight, even if you don't use him as commander. Yeah, pretty useful. That's a good event to get. You get better knights. We do have money right now. We're going to wait till we finish up this siege here, this war. Also, one of our commanders was significantly improved. He got the flexible leader. Have that siege finished up. Also, looks like we captured the count. Yeah. Okay, so you won the war regardless. We have the 100% from prisoners, but no matter what, we won it. So again, this gives us this opportunity here if we wanted to ransom him off, although he doesn't have any money. We could get the hook first, though. So it looks like we not only imprisoned him, but I think we imprisoned all his children as well. So yeah, you could ransom them all off for hooks or whatever. Alright, so this is what we'll do. Let's at least get... Oh, because that would be a hook on her. So you could get the hook on... Well, I was going to say his heir, but that's the one person we didn't capture. So we didn't get the heir. And I was thinking we could negotiate release and get the hook from him here, but... And what we could go ahead and do, since he can't give us any money, could just gain the Wood Cook here on the count, just to have it. And then we'll finish up the conflict. But I don't think we're gonna wait to get any money from him, as he's broke right now. So all those prisoners we have, it's not really all that useful. Let's just go ahead and enforce our demands. I don't even know if we'll let him keep the title here. Let's disband our army. We are still in prison, of course. So I think that was probably because we were serving as a knight. Perhaps a commander. Probably not, though, with our low marshal. We're probably serving as a knight of the king. And then we got captured in battle when the king lost that battle. So I'm assuming that's what happened. That's how we got captured. All right, so let's go and take a look at our dungeon here. We got him back in prison since, you know, he's a rebel. So we got the hook on him, on top of having him back in prison. So I suppose you could keep them all now to get some of that money. Some of these people have been in prison for a long time. This guy's been in prison for 3 years. I don't see any reason to keep him. I don't even know what he did. He can't be ransomed out, but we could just get the hook on him. I don't see any reason to recruit him. So let's go negotiate his release. We got this guy who's also been in prison for 3 years, and he would make a good doctor. I don't know if if a guy out of your prison would be the best person to hire as a doctor, but we wouldn't have to hire one. So it probably makes sense to just go ahead and recruit him. He'd have a lower opinion with us, but he's also terrified of us, so he's not going to act against us because he's craven. And having a craven doctor is probably the best way to go because you don't got to worry about him doing anything crazy, like operating against you. So I think we're going to use him. He's got good learning. He's a novice physician. He can get better. So let's recruit him. We won't get the hook because we don't want to lower his opinion any further. So this is a member of our dynasty here. Well, as part of the Toulouse Dynasty, but has a completely different and no emblem. So this must be a randomly generated character or something that's not actually part of the dynasty. That's confusing. He's got good learning, fantastic learning. But yeah, it's a little confusing. Him being, having the same dynasty name, but not actually being from our dynasty. But yeah, he's just good in general with all his stats here. But I'm not sure what to do with him. I almost just want to execute him. How dare he call himself Toulouse when he's not a Toulouse? I think that's what we're going to do. We're a pride, very proud, arrogant character. And so somebody claiming to be a Toulouse when they're not, we wouldn't be cool with that. So off with his head. So we've executed him. Next guy here. This is a peasant leader. And would not make a good knight. Might have some money though. Yeah, just get the 10 gold here for this character. Yeah, I think that makes most sense. So we'll just ransom him off. And then we got this character here. He would be an okay knight. So could hire him. Yeah, let's recruit him. We're going to have a good collection of knights here. And then we got Matilda. And she is the sister of Count and Foes. We can get some money from him for her. So might just keep her in there then. I know it's only 10 gold, but I don't know what else we'd do with her. Alright, so we're pretty good with the dungeon. I never did actually change everybody's setup here. So let's go ahead and do so. Let's go ahead and increase developments in Toulouse. We'll keep on working on the capital there. We got a good steward now working on that. And then with our marshal, he's currently training commanders, but does anywhere need to have the control increased? It looks like that's a no. Alright, so we just wanted to check up on that. And could have him continue to do that because he does have that great skill. And we can see how we get those bonuses there. But this would also reduce the men-at-arms maintenance. But that's only for the raised army maintenance. So it wouldn't help us right now. So we'll just keep him on that for now, I suppose. And then we got the Spy Master currently disrupting schemes. I don't think we have any schemes right now, so probably the best thing to have her doing. Let me just take a look if he had any schemes going. Nope, no schemes. All the secrets have been exposed already. Or we can't blackmail them anyway. Okay. Alright, so let's just let this play. Get all of the acceptance and ransoms. Get all these in. And now we're just sitting in prison, just kind of waiting We can try and get released. And we can try and escape. Those would be our options. We can contact the jailer real quick. We can steal an artifact from him. So with the ransoming, you can see he is now willing to accept our ransom. He wouldn't accept a hook. Would we just escape though, or would we pay the ransom? I feel like we'd probably just pay the ransom and get the hell out. Yeah, let's go into ransom ourselves. We don't want to sit in prison anymore. And you can see that our mother continues to use her power against us. She continues to maintain power here. Let's go ahead and change over to the fill coffers. But we need to deal with this and end the regency. And he grew fond of our company. Alright, so we left the prison. Excellent. And so now we're back in control of our persons. So remember, I believe she's still our regent. She has been. He never did end the regency. You know, he could have. I don't know why he didn't. I could also swing the scales of power in favor of us, but we're just going to go and end the regency here. Dismiss her. I'm not entirely sure why he didn't do that on his own. So clearly we're tutoring our daughter here. Alright, so we're going to have to hand one of them off so we can take over for our son, because he would not have a guardian now, so that's a problem. And he's 6 years old, so we need to get him into our control. He might not even be at our court anymore. Oh, that's right, he's an independent ruler. I forgot about that. But yeah, we want to make ourselves his guardian, so we need to open up another position there, which means one of our daughters needs to be handed off. Elisabetta, which is named after her mother. So this is a trait for her right now. Currently she has the arrogant and then her childhood rowdy trait. So I think she just got the arrogant trait here. So we can have her keep that. Instead we say she must care for the poor and she'll become generous. Or you must always consider your choices carefully, constantly. And then she'll become fickle. Yeah, we'll just let her keep the arrogant trait. That's fine. Alright, so we need to either hand her off to somebody. What's her current education? She's doing the intrigue focus because she's rowdy, and that means you can either do the intrigue or the martial. We'll keep her on the intrigue, that's fine. And then we've got Bona here, our oldest daughter, who's already betrothed to this old man. No. Who is he? Why do they arrange marriages? Like, why do they do this? Like, what purpose does this marriage have? He's an old man with no titles. I don't understand, like, what is the purpose of this? Yeah, let's break the betrothal. I know everybody's going to be upset with us about this, but we've changed our mind. Our character has changed his mind. I decided I don't want my daughter to marry this guy anymore. So with minds changed, we can now arrange another marriage for Bona. So she currently has all of her character traits. She's probably doing intrigue as well. Yeah, she's doing intrigue too. Our character's not even good at intrigue, so it would be wise to probably hand her off to somebody else. In fact, we got a good female spy master here, would make a great trainer. Let's offer her to be the ward of Bona. Let's send that proposal off. And then we should now be able to, once this is accepted, we should now be able to ask our son if we can be his guardian. And yeah, he actually is willing to accept that. Generally, they will accept it from the parent, but not always when they're independent. Also, we got a council invitation. Just pause this for a second. So yeah, he did accept. We got a council invitation here to take the position of marshal. Okay. Yeah, I'm surprised he doesn't want to make us chancellor. Let me just take a look at his council. If like this position's going to open up soon. Yeah, this guy's ailing. I really want the counselor, the chancellor position here over the marshal one, so that we can get through our our perk tree quicker. So it's probably better to do that, though you do get some bonuses by having the marshal. You know what, let's just accept this. If that's what he wants us to do, then whatever. I don't think it makes a lot of sense. And one of our knights qualified. Excellent. But yeah, we get the increased prowess, the army gold maintenance reduced by 15%, levy size. So it doesn't make a lot of sense that he made us into the marshal, but we'll take it, guys. We'll take it. Alright, so is there anything else that we need to do? We've got our son under us. We can now change his education as well, something we weren't able to do before. So he's the charming, so you can either go with intrigue or diplomacy. I guess you gotta keep him in the intrigue, since you don't want two diplomacy characters back to back. You could also have him do something else. You just can't do the stewardship because he'll do terrible at that. So you could have him do the marshal, even though he might not be great at it. He might not get the good education for it. Especially considering the fact that our character would not do very well training him at marshal. We got the low learning and the low marshal. So honestly, it make the most sense to have him do diplomacy if we're going to keep him under us. Yeah. That would be the best way to do this, because we would suck at training him at intrigue. Now, of course, you can hand him off to somebody else later once you got the 3 traits assigned. That's really all that matters here, is getting the 3 traits, and then you can hand him off to somebody else. So I suppose there's that option available. And we can hand him off to like somebody who'd be really good at training him marshal. But yeah, I feel like we need to have a marshal character here after a diplomacy and intrigue focused character. So you know what, let's do that. Let's just have him do marshal, and maybe he doesn't get the greatest education. I don't know. We'll see, guys. We'll see what happens there. So let's take a look at what we have available here. We can ally with our son. Makes sense to do so. Let's go and send that off. We can create some titles as well. These are all those duchy titles that could be created, but you know, we don't want to do that right now. And then of course we have all the characters we can imprison, including our mother. We can imprison our mother. Okay, well, we don't want to do that. Maybe because she acted poorly as the regent. So you got this character here. He's got that county. Doesn't currently like us. We don't really have any reason to imprison him. He's terrified. He's a craven. He is ambitious, though. But no reason as of right now to imprison him. And then there's this count here. Also only has 1 county right over here. And as of right now, no real reason to imprison him. He actually likes us. So no reason to do that. And then there's also the Countess, our spy master, who we can imprison. But yeah, we don't want to do that either. Okay, so I just want to take a look at who all those characters were. And then we have the restore accolades. I don't think we'll be able to do that again until we get rid of that 1 position. We do need to appoint that guy as the doctor. We also have an option here for training for the tournament. The call of steel cannot go unanswered. I shall don my equipment and head to the training grounds for some practice. I'm not entirely sure why this option here is available for us and it wasn't available to our father. But yeah, we could do this. So why not? Yeah, we'll start training for the tournament. And then you turn to the right. Count Ricard yells, while dealing a powerful blow to my sword that makes me take a couple of steps back. They won't go gentle on you in the tourney, my lord, he says, drying the sweat from his forehead. If you want to win, you can't afford to lose. Not even to me. Not even once. Alright, so this is a prowess challenge. And it's a 31% chance that our training is excellent and we'll gain the strong trait. Well, that'd be awesome if we could get that. And we could also increase our prowess by 1. A 54% chance that the training is impressive, increasing prowess by 1. 13% chance that training is successful, we'll get the well trained. And that means that we'll start with a higher progress to victory in any upcoming tournaments. 0% chance that we'll become wounded. And this is also going to impact our knights. Could result in them getting increased prowess as well. So let's hope for that 31% chance, guys. Just the impressive. Would have been nice to get the strong trait. Unfortunately, we did not. But we still got the extra prowess, so that's helpful. So prowess is now sitting at 21. And it looks like you can only do this every 10 years. I'm not entirely sure why that's available to us when it wasn't available to our father. Now, the visit the market, that's available because of this trait here. And that's a way to reduce stress by spending some money. So that's something our character likes to do. We could also commission an epic. But yeah, let's go ahead and get that position set up, the court position. We already know we're going to put this guy here in charge, though it seems he would be poor at it. That's surprising. I guess because the learning is too low. Yeah, he'll get better. So we'll put him in position there. The court tutor, that could be the court position as well. That's generally who you put in charge here. Okay, so I think everything else is good here. I don't think we need to hire anybody else. Nope. Don't need any bodyguards. So we do have money that we can spend. So we can go and use that to improve our buildings. We're already building in the capital currently. I already know I want to get right here the stables that we no longer have. So let's go ahead and do that. Get that constructed. It's 150. And then we could go ahead and do an activity. I almost want to do my own tournament. I think it makes sense that our character would do a tournament here. He just trained for the tournaments. All right, so we did ally with our son as well. And so currently we have our son and daughter as our wards. We do have another daughter, Rosa, here. She's curious, so she's doing the diplomacy education. Could have her do the learning instead. Let's go and do that. Let's change her over to learning, and then we need to find somebody to take care of her. So let's do somebody with a good learning, basically. So let's find, oh, maybe she already has a guardian. Oh, the bishop here is her guardian. This is our bishop. Okay. I mean, he's not very good at learning, but I'm not going to take the guardian that we already assigned. Even though our character changes our mind, we want to make sure that he continues to support us here. So, and he's not great at it either, so that's another reason to do it. But yeah, we won't do that. All right, so we're earning okay money right now. And so yeah, I think what we'll do is do the grand tournament, but not in the middle of winter. We'll wait until spring. And maybe it would be wise to wait till this war's over as well, because it's going to be a new king. So yeah, it might make sense to just wait until the land stabilizes. This would almost be like a celebration and a victory and support of a new king. So there is an invitation here to go to this count's hunt. So that's what we'll do in the meantime, guys. Let's go and join his hunt. Our current character likes to hunt as well. You'll notice he already has the hunter trait. So yeah, let's go and set off. It's not very far from our capital. So we'll set off and do this hunt real quick. So unfortunately, because we appointed our friend rather than a skilled chancellor, she messed up. So now this countess is going to reduce her taxes. So that's a bummer. All right, so now we're waiting for everybody to arrive at the hunt. We need to change what we want to do here. We don't really need to do recreation. Let's try and slay the beast. I don't know that we have anybody we would want to murder. Let me just take a look if we have any rivals. We just got a lot of friends. Yeah, so we currently have 3 friends, including the Duchess Emma of Brittany. We're friends with her. All right, so that's interesting. And she's our neighbor as well. So we don't have to worry any conflict with her. And then this is our spouse. So we're in a pretty secure position here. But one thing that we're going to likely do is probably rebel against the king eventually. I can see that fit in this character. Some people were saying he's not ambitious, and so therefore he wouldn't want to be king, but I would disagree that you have to be ambitious to be king. I overall disagree with the entire idea that we have to have certain traits to do specific things. I more think like the role play should be if you have certain traits that stop you from doing it, then you shouldn't do it. But there shouldn't be like actions that you want to take and you can't take them unless you get this one very specific trait, because you might never ever get it. I've had playthroughs, like full campaigns, where we never had a single ambitious character. So it's just completely up to the luck of the draw. So are we just going to not become a king if we never get an ambitious character? And the idea that you have to be ambitious to want to be king is ridiculous. Everybody wants to be the king. So I wouldn't say you have to be ambitious. Now, If we were a content character, then it would make absolutely no sense to try and gain our independence and be the king of Aquitaine or whatever, or try and become the king of France, whatever way we wanted to go. We could probably become the king of Aquitaine now because we control plenty enough territory, guys, here. I feel pretty confident. We could take a look at that in a minute, but I feel pretty confident we could become the king of Aquitaine with the territory that we currently have. So that's the way I prefer to look at it. Like, a content character wouldn't do it, so having that trait stops you. But you don't have to have a specific trait to do certain things, You don't have to be ambitious. It's kind of like, requiring that we're gregarious to go do a feast, It's obviously, too restrictive on a Let's Play to require certain traits that you might not ever get to interact with entire mechanics. So, I mean, there's some limitations I'd be willing to accept, but I think that's one that I don't think we should restrict ourselves to, because there's so many mechanics behind being the king that we don't have access to. So yeah, I think it'd probably be this character, given his age and his current traits. He thinks very highly of himself, so I mean, I can see him thinking that he should be the king, that he should be a king. With all this territory he controls, I mean, he is incredibly powerful. He's a king in all but name at this point. So yeah, I really think it makes sense for him to try and become the king. So that will likely be a goal as this character here. Especially if this war is finished up and they just replace the king. What allegiance do we have to the new king? This character here, which is his brother. When they just, they just rebelled against their rightful king and selected somebody else to take his position. That character is his brother here. So yeah, I think, if they replace the king here, which they will, because they're going to win this war, and then that's a good reason right there for us to rebel, is simply because they replaced the rightful king. So we could do that. Now, making ourselves the king of France would be a little bit more complicated because we have no claim to that. So the other option would be to make yourself independent and then do the kingdom of Aquitaine. So let's just take a look at that. I'm pretty sure that we could do it. You gotta have the 500 gold. We only need 19, and we have 35 of these. So yeah, we definitely have enough to create this title. It's just a matter of the 500 gold, getting that, and of course you gotta gain independence as well. So we could do that with this character. Obviously, we won't do it immediately. And at the very least, I feel like you gotta wait till the king is overthrown for story reasons. So unfortunately, we have to end the episode here. I know we didn't get very far time-wise, but when your character dies and you take over the new one, generally there's a bunch of stuff you gotta take care of, which we've seen. We had a lot of things we had to manage. We still haven't done anything with the count here. I would like to, well, we can't, we could just get a hook here. We already have a hook on him. I was hoping we could ransom her for the 10 gold. That option was available before, but now it is not. Maybe because he doesn't have any money. Yeah, he has 0 money currently. So you could just wait until he gets some money and then ransom her off. But it's only 10 gold, so it's not a lot. And really, I'm not entirely sure what we want to do with this guy. He rebelled from us. I feel like they always rebel on this location. It probably makes sense to go ahead and take his title from him. So it might be what we end up doing. Could also execute him, gaining dread. We'd have to spend that 100 piety. He is a known criminal, though, so it won't be tyrannical. But then that results in his son taking over, and he would hate us for killing his father. So you should probably take his title first if you're going to do that. And so we could go and revoke his title. We don't actually need that title, but we could just grant it to somebody else, somebody who'll be a little bit more loyal to us. So that would be an option. So let me know what you guys think we should do with that count. Again, I think that's probably the best option. If you got any other thoughts, let me know. And also feel free to share your opinion regarding what we should do with independence and trying to become a king. Like I said, I don't think we have to be a strictly ambitious character, because that might not ever happen. We don't know that we'll play with any character who has ambitious trait. In fact, over all the Let's Plays I've done, we've only had a few characters that had the ambitious trait. So yeah, I wouldn't want to limit it to having one specific trait. But yeah, when do you think we should do that? When do you think we should declare independence? And do you think we should just go for the Kingdom of Aquitaine, which we could easily do? Or, which this would be a bit more of a complicated process, trying to get control of the Kingdom of France. Doing it by marriage peacefully and all that kind of stuff, that would be a really long term. That would take some time to get done. And in the meantime, this whole land that we have could end up getting split up. There's a real possibility of that. Especially if one of our characters has like multiple sons. And so we might not be as in as good of a position later for forming the Kingdom of Aquitaine. It's another thing to consider. But yeah, right now we currently control half of France. Just about. So very, very powerful lord here. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, even if we didn't get very far. If you did, make sure you have a like on it, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. Do hope to see you on the next one. And thanks for watching.